Okay, this evening's travel journey did not go quite as planned, so we wanted to share our experience with American Airlines and a missed flight due to a maintenance issue on our first flight. So we hope you find this video helpful. If you do, don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and follow along. We just want to share our experience with you guys, and we hope you find this helpful. All right, American Airlines, I think you had an epic fail with our travel trip today. We were waiting to board our flight home, and we were told that there was a maintenance delay, probably about 10-minute delay. Hang tight. I would say maybe 30 to 40 minutes later, we finally started boarding. And before that happened, the people on the ground did come on to the loudspeaker and said, hey, everybody that has a connecting flight, don't worry, we've checked everybody's connecting flights and nobody's going to have a problem. Once you get to your next destination, you will not have a problem with your connecting flights. We were like, cool, no problem. They said everybody was going to be good. Don't worry about it. Of course, with our Wi-Fi access on the American Airlines app, I started checking and I was looking. And due to how we booked our tickets, I had my own reservation and Corey had his own reservation. And I looked on mine and it said, you've been rebooked on a new flight. And I was like, what is going on? So I started looking and it literally looked like we were landing like 2 minutes before our next flight was supposed to be departing. So I was like, well, surely like we're not going to make that flight. But they're like, no, don't worry about it. You know, they said that everyone's going to make their connecting flights, so you'll be fine. So Corey jumped onto his phone and his didn't say anything about a flight being rebooked. I refreshed mine and then the whole flight being rebooked went away. So I was like, cool. They know we're coming. We were in first class on our first flight. We're first class on our second flight, carry on only. We were ready to book it to our next gate. So we even talked with both flight attendants up in first class and they were like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll let them know that, we'll give them a heads up. The fact that your flight was not rebooked, that all of these things, the stars are lining, that in your favor, that you'll be fine, just get out. And one of them said, we'll talk to the ground, to the ticket agent when you land to ask. And we're like, well, we're not going to do that. We're just going to book it to the next gate to see if we can, get there in time. So we literally made it from like D to B or B to D. I can't remember exactly which way it was in 8 minutes. We were running, we got there. And they shut the gate, I think, 3 minutes before we arrived. So they were like, too bad, so sad. You guys missed it. And we're going to have to rebook you. So because our first flight was delayed due to maintenance, in our 20 plus years of traveling, I will have to give it to American Airlines. We fly them almost solely just because of where we're located. American Airlines is a really easy airline for us to use. And in our 20 plus years of traveling, and we do quite a few trips a year, this is only the second time that we've ever either missed a flight or had a flight delayed. And the first one was last year, and that was due to weather. This one, of course, was due to our first plane had maintenance issues. And don't get me wrong, if you're telling me my plane has a maintenance issue, I don't want to get on it. Please figure out what's wrong with it. I'm not mad that we were delayed or anything. It was just the whole process of don't worry, you'll make your connecting flight. Don't worry about it. You don't need to rebook. You'll be fine. And then that was clearly not the case. That was our frustration here. So we got to the gate that, said, sorry, we shut the gate 3 minutes before you guys got here. So too bad, so sad. So the gentleman was super nice and he rebooked us. And another interesting thing was I was rebooked on my flight immediately before we even landed, and Corey's had nothing listed on him. So I had my ticket ready to go, which again, we were booked first class, and my seat for tomorrow morning showed 21 or 31. We were not in first class. We weren't in main cabin extra or anything like that. I was like, well, we paid for first class. So you guys are just poo-pooing on that because we missed our flight. What's the deal? So he was able to get us to at least main cabin extra, but all these little things, it's you book first class, especially knowing if you have a 45-minute, 50-minute, hour layover, you want to be the first one off the plane so you can make your connecting flight. We did all the right things, and it still just kind of didn't work out in our favor tonight. And, it is what it is. We're happy that we're safe and on the ground, and tomorrow is a new day, and it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of frustrating that we were told, don't worry about it. And then boom. Now, you should have even gotten your hopes up that you were going to make your connecting flight because they weren't going to wait for us. So anyway, so he got me rebooked on my flight, and he switched us to, he switched me to at least the main cabin extra. And then he got Corey rebooked. So we were side by side for tomorrow. too bad. So it's out in the first class. Like, obviously we'll have to file a claim to get reimbursed for that. And then at least a nice thing about this time versus last time, the last time we were delayed on American last year, it was weather related. So they were basically like, too bad, so sad, figured out your flight leaves in the morning, and like everyone was left to them for themselves for like transportation to a hotel if you wanted to stay anywhere or anything like that. And fortunately we had friends that lived close by, so we figured out our own thing. But because this one was a maintenance issue, American did offer us, I hope you guys are sitting down for this, $12 a person for dinner. Mind you, this was like 10:30 at night. So he literally was like, here's a $12 voucher for dinner. Just so you know, nothing is open except for Subway. Oh, and here's a $12 voucher for tomorrow. And it, like, who knows, like our flight literally leaves, like we have to be there at like 6 in the morning. So nothing's going to be open. And for the record, I don't think Subway was even open tonight. And again, because it was a maintenance issue, they were like, we're going to give you boarding for the night at the fancy Best Western here. We called for a shuttle. They said it was going to be like 10 to 15 minutes. It took 25 minutes, but you know, at the end of the day, at least they still picked us up. We still had a place to stay. We didn't have to worry about it. They didn't even ask for a credit card or anything. They were just like, here's your, you know, where's your ticket voucher? Sign here. And then for this one, the shuttle leaves on every hour on the hour. So we're gonna have like a 4-hour nap tonight. I mean, it's super great, you know, after a long travel day to have a 4-hour nap and then hit the ground running on a Monday for a full, you know, work week. So we're just making the best of it. You know, you got to turn the lemons into lemonade. And at the end of the day, we're safe. We're, you know, we've got warm, you know, surrounding, and we're not stuck at the airport to sleep overnight. It's just unfortunate that the American just didn't really seem to be very forthcoming in the actual situation. They seemed more like on the back end being like, oh, this is what happened, so now we'll help you, where we were trying to, you know, be proactive about it, and they're like, don't worry about it, you'll make your flight, it's not a big deal, you know. So we could have been a little bit better prepared had we known before we got on our first flight, like, hey, just so you know, like, you're not going to make your connecting flight, so figure things out now. I mean, like, we had, you know, airport transportation set up for our hometown, which we had to reschedule for tomorrow. So just, you know, quite a bit of an inconvenience, but at the end of the day, like I said, we're safe and sound, so life is good. But I feel like American definitely could have handled it better and differently, and kind of disappointed in this experience. But it is what it is, and, you know, not everything can be sunshine and roses, so you take the good with the bad and you roll with it. So if anybody else gets stuck in this situation in the future, best of luck to you. I do believe if it is a maintenance related issue, that American Airlines should be compensating you for some sort of food and like lodging if it's an overnight issue. Again, don't quote me out on any of this because I don't know all of their rules and regulations and the ins and outs, but I know ours was an overnight issue, and they provided us a hotel with a hotel voucher. So that was not the case when it was not maintenance related last year in 2024. When ours was a weather related issue, they were like, basically fend for yourself, too bad, so sad. So at least when it was kind of more on their end and it was a maintenance related issue, they kind of bucked up a little bit more but at the end of the day, like, we're still, you know, completely thrown for a whirlwind of, you know, of a night, and we're just going to have to figure it out, reset for tomorrow, and it'll be what it'll be. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, give it a thumbs up. We will continue to share any of our travel experiences, whether it be good or bad. We just want to keep you all informed on how our experience and journey is as we travel through this world. So we hope you enjoyed, and thanks for following. Bye-bye.